The gentlelady from Michigan, Ms. McClain, 5 minutes.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here today. I've listened to everyone, and I appreciate your comments and opinions. I want to start with one simple question, because we have a deficit. We're up against the debt limit, correct? And what we're asking is, can we tighten our belt a little bit? The president, right? Oh, I don't want to negotiate, right? I want to pass a clean debt ceiling. Is there anyone on this panel that thinks the government runs so efficiently that there's not $1 we can save? So everyone's in agreement. Okay. All right. Just for the record, everyone agrees that there's probably a few efficiencies that we could find. So what I find troubling, disheartening, and if it wasn't factual, kind of comical, is what my colleagues on the other side of the aisle want to cut. The fear-mongering is hilarious if it wasn't true. So one of my colleagues, appropriations ranking member Rosa DeLoria, sent a letter to the agencies, right? Asking them what cuts would look like in their department, right? Okay, so let me use my family. Hey, my husband comes home. Hey, Lisa, we're way over maxed out on our credit cards. We have got to make some cuts. What I say is, you know what? Okay, great. I have 4 kids. I'm just not feeding them. Now, I'm still getting my nails done. I'm still going to the gym. And my God, I am not discontinuing my wine subscription. The kids, they cannot eat. I mean, you would never do that. But that's exactly what my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are doing. And let me give you some specific examples. So, the Ag Secretary, Tom Visilak, said we would cut $1.4 billion of cuts to WIC. That's where your priority is? The first thing we're going to cut is WIC, by God. Now, forget about the $1.5 billion in tree planting. Nope, we're going to cut WIC. We're saving those trees. Okay, let me give you another one. Secretary Buttigieg, who's just done a phenomenal job, and I say that with quite sarcasm, says, if this budget that the Republicans pass, here's what we would cut. FAA, $2.6 billion in air traffic controllers. That's the first thing we're going to cut. Because, you know, anybody who's flown, everything's on time and nothing runs late, right? That's the first thing we're going to cut. Well, I have another idea. Instead of cutting my food, I would go to maybe, let's say, $1.9 billion that the FAA spends on heat island hotspots. Not sure what that is. Or gaps in tree canopy coverage. So let's put people at risk, but let's make sure we protect regional greenways. Not sure what that is. My point here is, if you truly want to care about the American people and truly want to get your fiscal house in order, so we can actually protect American citizens, actually protect our most needy, actually protect our most children, stop with the fear-mongering. Because the first place we shouldn't go is none of the children are going to eat. Well, when the first opportunity that the Democrats have in these agencies, appointed by this administration, start with the fear-mongering on, oh my gosh, none of the kids are going to eat. What I would suggest is, why don't we let the children eat and maybe plant a few less trees? I'm not saying trees aren't important, but if you ask me, do I care about the children eating, especially the underprivileged children, or planting trees? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to pick every day of the week and twice on Tuesday. I'm not going to start with the kids. So I'm curious, is that where you all would start?
If I could just say real quickly here, I think that the American people want to know if they're going to have $11,500 per household in new debt taken out for 1 year alone. They want to have a responsible plan to know that the next year it might be at least a little less than $11,500. And I think that if we put it to the rating agencies to say, what is going to be the better path forward? Are you going to downgrade or upgrade? That they would pick a plan that is responsible and sets at least modest limits over something that is just clean debt limit increase.
Do you think it makes a difference if it's your money or others people's money?
Absolutely.
Because I find it interesting that these agencies, the first thing they do is attack the most vulnerable. I find that very disheartening. And I don't know why they do it. I really don't, other than fear-mongering. And if we want to get back to some serious talk and budget negotiations so we can provide for the next generation, we have to have some honest talks. And that's where I think we're at. You can't say, oh my gosh, we're going to cut veterans' benefits by 22%. Where in the plan does it say that? I can't point to one line. Not one line. Yet that's the first place we should go. Maybe.
The gentlelady should conclude.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlelady's time has expired.